Tell me a little bit about your film. You have a film here at HollyShorts.
I do. It's actually a series of music videos that plays as one film. So the original concept from Wild Horses, the band, was that they asked that there would be a film that could pull apart into 4 videos or play as one. So what you'll see tonight is the one long film. So it's basically a film scored by their music. The concept of it was just the idea that there was a couple that really was very happy together, but their fears and their fears of intimacy were sort of getting in the way of them being able to really give themselves over to the relationship. So the girl is sort of paranoid that maybe there's another woman in his life, or maybe he's still stuck on an ex, and he's sort of allowing her to think he has secrets or things to hide that he doesn't really have to hide because they're both trying to protect themselves. So ultimately, to me, it was sort of an exploration of this idea of how hard it is to be intimate and how hard it is to really give yourself over to another person. And the end is a little bit ambiguous. It's sort of left in the hands of the viewer of whether or not they want to believe that they take the leap to really open up and be together, or if they kind of hang on to their fears and insecurities and actually end up kind of destructing the relationship.
And what drew you to this project? Because short films are a unique medium.
Yeah, I originally, my first short film, Warning Labels, they all have W's. It's very hard. Warning Labels was here last year, and that to me was like really my first passion project as a director, and it was a story I really believed in, a story I really wanted to tell, and this came out of that. So the band's manager actually had seen that film and really loved it, and he took it to the band, and they really loved it, and so that was sort of the beginning of a relationship with the band, and they asked if I would come up with a concept, so I pitched the concept to them and the label, and they really liked it. So really it kind of grew out of that, and for me it was a chance to really explore the band's music and make something that was basically a silent film scored by music, as opposed to making a fully narrative story, so it was something new for me to explore as a director, and I also used it as an opportunity to explore different lenses. Like I used all prime lenses, which I had never done before, and it was, for me, there were like a lot of technical elements and storytelling elements that were different than what I had done before, and so it was an opportunity for me to kind of grow artistically, but also get to work with a band that I really believed in, and play around with music that I really liked.
Now, not only are you a talented actress on Once Upon a Time, but now you're directing. What is that transition like?
It's been awesome. I really love directing. I've always loved acting. I always will love acting. I think I always will be acting in some shape or form, but I think that directing is going to take the forefront for the next little while for me. It's something that I feel is a very natural part of my life, and I really enjoy, and feels very fulfilling right now. So I don't know. I'm really loving it. I just finished production on my first feature, and we're editing right now. So that has been an extension of Warning Labels going into Wild Horses, going into Sundogs, and I don't know. It feels like a very natural progression in my life. So I'm just kind of going with the flow.
Well, congratulations, and a 2-part question. Anything you can tell us about Once Upon a Time, and then any advice for female filmmakers out there, being a female filmmaker yourself?
Yeah, I would just say, make things that you love and that you're passionate about. I think that people get very fixated on if you're a female film director, or if you're a genre film director, or there's a million things you can kind of get fixated on. But I think ultimately, like, you need to tell stories that you believe in, and you need to tell something that's a part of you. And I think when you do that, people resonate with its authenticity, and they resonate with the story that you're trying to tell. And so I don't know. The best advice I can give is do it, make stuff. Don't talk about making it, make it. Find a way, and make things that you love and that you believe in, and let them speak for themselves. I learn and grow every time I work on something. I look back at the last thing and go, gosh, I wish I had known what I know now. And then in terms of Once Upon a Time, I think it's going to be a really cool season. We're dealing with a lot of duplicity. We're dealing with this idea. We've always dealt with the dark and light in each character in a certain form, but we're dealing with it in a much more obvious way this season. Emma's facing the fact that she's learning a lot about what it means to be a savior, and she's needing to embrace the good and the bad that comes with that, and she's kind of dealing with some of her own demons in that respect, and she's also dealing with the fact that Regina's been split between the good and the bad versions of herself, and what that means for the town and what that means for her son. And so there are definitely a lot of things at stake emotionally. I think it's a very introspective year in that perspective, because I think every character is dealing with their good versus bad within.
Great. Well, thank you, and congratulations on your film.
Thank you. Thank you.
Best of luck.
Have a nice night.
Thank you. You too.